Dear parent, I see you. I see the weariness in your eyes, the weight on your shoulders, and the silent prayers you send up when no one is watching. You are walking a path that can feel lonely and overwhelming, but let me tell you this. You are not alone. I've been where you are, and so has Grandpa Tom. Life didn't always look like the warm, cozy home we have now. There were times when the cupboards were bare, the bills piled up, and the doubts crept in. But through it all, we learned a few lessons that I want to share with you. You're doing something incredible, raising a child, nurturing a future, and carrying a love so big it's almost impossible to describe. Let me walk alongside you for a moment and share some comfort, inspiration, and maybe a little wisdom from an old soul who's been through it all. Lesson 1. You're doing better than you think. Let's start with this, dear one. Give yourself credit. I know you're hard on yourself. Parents always are. But the fact that you're here, reading this letter, means you care deeply about your child and their future. That alone makes you extraordinary. There was a time when Tom and I could barely make ends meet. I remember one Christmas when all we could afford was a little stuffed bear from the thrift store for our son Jimmy. I cried that night, thinking I'd failed him. But do you know what Jimmy remembers about that Christmas? The way we sang carols together and made popcorn garlands for the tree. Love matters more than perfection. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just keep showing up with love in your heart, and you're already a success. Lesson 2. Ask for help and accept it. This one's hard, isn't it? As parents, we feel like we should have all the answers and carry the load on our own. But let me tell you something I learned the hard way. It's okay to ask for help. When Tom lost his job at the mill, we had to rely on the kindness of neighbors and family. At first, it felt like admitting defeat, but do you know what? It wasn't defeat, it was connection. People want to help, dear one. Whether it's a friend who can babysit for an hour, a community pantry, or just someone to listen while you pour your heart out, don't be afraid to reach out. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a testament to your strength and resourcefulness. Lesson 3. Teach your children the value of simple things. When money was tight, Tom and I couldn't give our kids the newest toys or the trendiest clothes. But what we could give them were lessons that have lasted a lifetime. We taught them how to grow a garden, how to fix things instead of throwing them away, and how to find joy in simple pleasures like a sunny day or a walk by the creek. Those lessons weren't just about saving money. They were about building character and gratitude. So don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses. Your child doesn't need the latest gadgets or expensive vacations to feel loved. They need you, your time, and the wisdom you pass down. Lesson 4. Dream big, even when it feels impossible. I know it's hard to dream when you're just trying to get through the day, but dreams are what keep us going. There was a time when Tom and I dreamed of owning a home, but it felt so far out of reach. We were renting a tiny house, and every spare penny went to bills. But we didn't let go of that dream. We saved what we could, little by little, and eventually we made it happen. Dreams don't have to be grand to be powerful. Maybe your dream is giving your child a better education or starting a small business. Hold on to that dream and take small steps toward it every day. Dreams are seeds. You plant them now, and with patience and care they grow. Lesson 5. Money isn't everything, but it's something. Let's talk about money because I know it's a big stressor. Tom always says, money isn't the key to happiness, but it can sure open some doors. He's right. When times were tough, we learned to stretch every dollar. We made budgets, cooked at home, and found joy in thrift stores. But more importantly, we learned to talk about money openly and honestly. Teach your kids about money, not just how to save it, but how to respect it. Show them that it's a tool, not a source of self-worth. And remember, it's okay to struggle. What matters is how you face those struggles and what you teach your kids along the way. Lesson 6. Don't forget yourself. This one is so important, dear one. You cannot pour from an empty cup. As a parent, it's easy to put yourself last, but your well-being is essential to your child's well-being. Find moments to care for yourself, even if it's just a quiet cup of tea or a walk around the block. And don't feel guilty for taking time to recharge. A rested, happy parent is a better parent. When our kids were young, I used to feel guilty for spending an hour in the garden or reading a book. But those moments gave me the energy and patience to be present for my family. You deserve that too. Lesson 7. Celebrate the little victories. Life as a parent is full of challenges, but it's also full of small, beautiful moments. Don't let the hard times overshadow the joy. I remember the time our daughter Mary learned to ride her bike. It didn't matter that the bike was secondhand or that Tom had to patch up the tires. It was a moment of pure happiness. Celebrate those moments, dear one. They're the threads that weave the fabric of your family's story. Lesson 8. Leave a legacy of love. At the end of the day, what your child will remember most is how you made them feel. Did they feel loved, safe, and supported? That's what matters. Tom always says, you don't have to be rich to leave a legacy. You just have to love fiercely and teach wisely. Pass on your values, your kindness, and your resilience. Those are the treasures that will stay with your child long after the struggles are forgotten. A story of hope. Let me tell you about a young couple we knew named Sarah and Mike. They had 2 little boys and were working 2 jobs each just to get by. Life was hard and they often felt like they were failing. But do you know what their boys remember about those years? They remember the pancake dinners, the fort building Saturdays, and the bedtime stories Sarah made up on the spot. Sarah and Mike didn't have much, but they had love, creativity, and determination. And today, those boys are grown men with families of their own, carrying on the lessons they learned in those lean years. Thank you, my dears, for spending this time with me. Remember, life's journey is better when we walk it together. If these stories and reflections warmed your heart, be sure to subscribe and join me for more wisdom, comfort, and a little sprinkle of joy. Together, let's keep growing one story at a time. Until next time, stay safe, stay hopeful, and remember, you're never alone. Grandma loves you.